So let's jump to some of those developing contestants, you could say, right? Let's stay in the Atlantic because I think preseason, the darling team is the one you said, Darien. It's NC State.
Right.
They've got Leary leading the offense. They've got 10 starters back on defense. This is the second consecutive year that they're bringing 10 starters back. I mean, this is essentially 3 straight years of the same defense. It was the second best defense in the ACC last year. I'd argue it's the only defense in the ACC that's going to hold up on paper with the talent that Clemson can roll out on that side of the ball. So I'll go to you first, Darien. Do you take NC State seriously as a major threat to Clemson's hopes at a title in this division?
No, I think you have to, and they obviously got up on us last year. They won that game in double overtime. And just if you watch the ACC, especially Clemson and NC State, it's a rivalry already. There's a championship on the line. There's a trophy being presented whoever wins that game. And it's State and Clemson the past, I don't know, however many years. And this year, it's NC State now. And Coach Sweetie and Dave Doran have an interesting little, you know what I'm saying? There's some sauce there. And we feel as a program, that's a game that's like a culture game for us at Clemson. Like, we know going to that game, it's a little rowdy. NC State fans they're diehards. The Pack, they're going to let you know, they're going to talk, they're going to chirp, and you like that. And so there's a lot right there that I think is good for the conference. And then, like I said, last year, them getting that win, to me, like Hack was saying, it really takes their program to that next level. Because that's kind of been the kind of a threshold point for them to, they can get over this point. They're now solidified to where what other limits do they have? So they beat Clemson. So their next goal is to win a conference championship. And I know that's what Dave Doran's preaching to his guys. You've already beat them. Let's go all the way this year. And so I think they definitely present a threat. And in the middle of the season, I mean, that game, to me, looking at both schedules, will decide who's in Charlotte this year on our side of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
No, I agree with you. I think NC State, and my biggest question is, especially when you have a team like that who really came out of nowhere last year. Devin really hadn't proved himself as a consistent guy pulling the trigger up into that point. But they had a lot of emerging talent around him. That defense continued to stack wins and get better and better and better. I'm looking forward to see if they can take that step of becoming not what Dabo's trying to become, but now trying to solidify themselves as a consistent contender in a conference that really has been begging for a consistent contender outside of Clemson, South Carolina. So I think, obviously right now heading into it, they got the tools offensively, the defense, like you said, Greg, returning 10 starters. That's invaluable. It's something that, fans may not appreciate, but people who've been in locker rooms really know what that means. You start to know how a guy's going to react versus a certain route concept and things of that nature. There's a lot of just minutia in the game that they can really, that experience, pays dividends for. So I'm excited to see how it happens. And like I said, I'm going to have October 1st circled, and I am going to be really excited watching that football game, because I think to your point, Darien, it's going to define that side of the conference.
For sure.
So one question I have with NC State, obviously the experience on paper, and not even on paper, on the field, is a massive element of this team in a positive way. This team, I think, also might see some ghosts in some bad ways here, because if you look at last season, they were this close. 1-point loss at Miami, 3-point loss at Wake Forest. They had the Clemson win, but I mean, at some point, we kind of talked about this in other conferences with teams like last year. Jake Butt said it with Michigan. They finally had to slay Goliath. Is there an element with this team just in their history that maybe could be worrisome heading into this season of how they can close out close games with all the same faces back there in?
To my knowledge, being a part of a program that kind of gets over that threshold, it's one thing to think you can do it. And then last year, I don't know if they finally did it. So I feel now they're going to show they believe they can. And I mean, Hack knows sometimes as a program, we're trying to get over that threshold. You put so much into one game that you lose track of everything else. It's you finally get this win. And you're dang, I got to go play 4 other games I didn't prepare for. So you make your whole season, your whole offseason geared towards this one game. And so that's kind of how I feel like some of those losses for them were. They like finally beat Clemson, but then when it was time to go seal the deal at other places, the focus wasn't there, the killer instinct wasn't there. And so this year, I mean, like I said, that October 1st game is going to be huge. But to me, what's going to define the program even more are the games not Clemson. Because can you go win every week, week in and week out, on the road, at home? That's what makes you not a good program, but a great program and a true contender in this conference.
Yeah. All right. Let's do a quick reset here for anybody watching at home. This is the Field of 12 After Dark. We are going to be here all season long doing live shows, post-game reactions, midweek stuff every single day of the week. You'll be able to listen to us. You'll be able to watch us on the YouTube channel. If you are watching us now on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you can see more of Darien, Hack, myself, and all the other faces here at the Field of 12.